Welcome to the 32nd episode of the Mayor's Mixtape. I'm Haley Sue Robinson, Director of Public Affairs.
And I'm Heather Graham, City of Pueblo Mayor.
Great. You can get this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Buzzsprout, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. We also have a replay on local channel 17. And you can email us your questions or topic suggestions, mayor@pueblo.us. Speaking of questions, this one was not emailed to us, but this was left on your Facebook page last week after we did the podcast. You received a question about the deputy mayor, and I thought maybe this would be a good opportunity to explain what that role is.
Sure.
And how it functions in the city.
Yeah, so the deputy mayor is more of a ceremonial position. Well, it's not even a position. It's a
title.
It's a title, yeah. That's the best way to say it. So, per the charter, the mayor selects their deputy mayor, and then it's confirmed by city council. Mm-hmm. So the previous mayor's deputy mayor was
Chief Huber.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think for all five. I don't know if it was for 5 years or not.
I know she was...
I don't know if it was his whole term or if
there was somebody else. I don't know if it was the whole term either.
And then I've selected the police chief, Chief Noller, the last 2 years to be the deputy mayor. So, essentially what happens if there's a conflict and there's two places that I'm supposed to be at the same time, the chief will go and speak on behalf of the city, but not in the chief's capacity, more as the deputy mayor. So this just happened last Monday for the seatbelt.
With CDOT.
Yeah, with CDOT. And so I was in Canyon City with regional building. And so he went and gave the speech that I would give and was there representing the mayor's office, but as the chief of police. So the charter states that the deputy mayor has to be a city employee.
Okay.
And so there's no additional pay or no additional things that you have to do other than if I need you to be somewhere in a ceremonial capacity, or if, I'm traveling out of country and the city, which I'll never do, right? Because I don't even have a passport. Yes. I don't like to go on planes like that far. But, if, for instance, if there was a city council meeting and I have to, sign into law all the ordinances.
Oh, sure.
And the next day, within 5 days of them being passed by city council. So if I was not able to be here to sign, the deputy mayor could sign on my behalf, and it would be the same as the mayor signing. So those are just a couple instances that I could think of that the deputy mayor has even had to do something.
So the deputy mayor doesn't oversee additional departments or have oversight of staff other than...
It's all ceremonial.
In Chief Huber's capacity, she oversaw the fire department, and in Chief Noller's capacity, he oversees the police department. But when either of them have been deputy mayor, they're not involved in HR, personnel, disciplinary...
nothing.
Purchasing decisions for the city. It's go give speeches and
shake hands.
Okay. And if you're not here to sign something physically, they would sign on your behalf.
Yeah, if need be.
Okay. There was a lot of confusion about it. And so we had a comment that felt like it was a conflict of interest. And then another person just said, hey, Mayor Graham, will you answer this question? And so I felt like what a great opportunity to just explain. It is a pretty ceremonial title. Yeah. But you actually can change who
every year.
Yeah, who the deputy mayor is every year if you wanted to.
City council has to approve just an ordinance or a resolution on city council agenda who the deputy mayor is.
And you normally
ratify
do that.
The decision. We do it at the first regular meeting of the year.
Like when the board seats are confirmed for each of the city councilors, same sort of thing for the deputy mayor.
Yes.
Okay, so anything else secret about the deputy mayor that we need to know?
I don't think any
No.
secrets.
Okay,
about
great.
the deputy. I mean, maybe, but I don't know.
Maybe we'll just ask
There'll
Chief
be
Noller.
secrets for him to share, I guess.
We'll ask Chief Huber and Chief Noller if they have any secrets.
Okay.
I know there were a couple times when Mayor Gradisar was unable to go to like a school event because he was at another event, and so we would send Chief Huber, and she would ask, what would the mayor like me to say on his behalf?
Yeah.
And I know Chief Noller has done the same for you.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably as far as it ever really went.
Well, remember when I had my wisdom teeth out and I couldn't talk?
Oh, yes.
And so Chief Noller had to go.
Oh, yeah, we sent him to
go talk
event
for me because I literally couldn't speak
I do remember
as the
that.
deputy mayor.
Yeah, and we had to call them. We thought we were going to have to cancel the event.
Yeah.
And so we said, oh, wait, no.
We have a deputy mayor.
We'll send the deputy mayor.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time we really said, hey, you're going as the deputy mayor. And that was like
it's only happened a couple of times.
May last year.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I did forget about that. Oh. Great. Okay, well, let's get into city council from last night.
Mm-hmm. I'm still traumatized. Yeah, it was a long night. So we had 3 presentations, right? We talked about the employee health clinic, which it's going to be great for our employees, great for the community, great for the city's budget. You saw what the reduction over 5 years would be to the self-insurance fund, about $2.3 million.
Yeah, that's significant.
It is significant. And our employees will have a place to go where they can get primary health care instead of essentially going to the ER because they can't find a provider or can't get into their doctor quick. So we have a building. We're looking at putting it in the Dittmer building that we purchased for other departments, but one entire floor is going to work perfect. I think that the renovations are going to cost the city $15,000.
$15,000?
Yeah, paint and new doors. So, I mean, I think the Mrs. Pacheco, the director of HR, stated that it was plug and play. I liked how she used that word, that, walk-in ready for this clinic to be able. So,
well, and folks who maybe aren't familiar with the Dittmer building, that's the building as you're driving into City Park that was formerly...
It was a surgery center.
Yeah, it was a medical clinic. And so I guess it does make sense that it would only be $15,000 for renovations because it's set up the way we would need it to be.
Sure. Yeah, so that's going to be on the first floor if this, passes city council. And then the second and the third floor are going to be the Parks Department employees who have been working in that building because of the annex building.
Sure.
Having the mold and essentially the city having to condemn that building because it's unsafe for city employees. So I think that this is going to be a great use of space. The more employees and their families, right, because we're talking not just the city's employees, but their families that are part of the plan. So it's about 1,800 individuals that are on the city's health insurance benefits.
Okay.
So if all of those individuals, or even 50% of the individuals are able to go to the clinic for primary health care, you're going to see many openings free up in the community for other community members to see doctors.
Sure.
So I think it's a win-win for everybody. It's not going to cost the city any money from the city's general fund account. The self-insurance account is going to be able to pay it. So we will bring the contractors on, pay the doctors, and then instead of you going to see a doctor and then billing our self-insurance plan, now you'll go to the clinic.
And it's just all billed there in-house.
Yep.
So talk to me a little bit about the funding for this. I think that's, a piece that most folks are interested in. Not only us as city employees, how does this work for us, but for the taxpayers, they want to know, hey, how can we afford this, or why would the numbers work? As
the employee, and when your health insurance comes out of your paycheck, every month, if we don't use all of that premium in our self-insurance fund, it goes into a reserve. Okay. So you don't get the money back, sorry. It just goes into a savings account.
We pay it so that when we need it, it's there. But if we don't need it, it's just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so over 6 years, we've been able to save about $6.5 million in our reserves for self-insurance fund.
Okay. And so that's like separate from general fund dollars.
Yep.
That's
city employees.
Okay.
Money.
Yep.
Over here in this pot.
Yes.
And then general fund dollars over here in this pot. So we're not going to be touching general fund dollars. Everything will come out of the city employees.
Okay.
Money that you pay.
So money like that I pay.
Yeah, that you pay.
Okay. And money you pay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So not taxpayer money. It's not something that folks are worried that their money's being spent, I guess, maybe frivolously or unfairly or things like that, because it's our healthcare. Mm-hmm. I think another thing that was really interesting was also that our HR team has worked on this for quite a long time. This wasn't something even that was necessarily developed since you've been the mayor.
No,
this has been a long-term plan.
All part of the savings for the self-insurance funds when the city. This is like the last step. To having the full gamut of being self-insured with this clinic. So, in January of this year, I went to visit a clinic in Gwinnett County.
Okay.
Close to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And it's a city-county health clinic.
Okay.
And so we went and talked to their employees. We got to meet with this team. And then maybe in March, we put an RFP out, and we had several providers respond to the RFP. And then I kind of went and did site visits to see what these clinics were about, to see what they provided, see what the cost was going to be, and truly try to find a partner who's going to work best with the city. So Crossover was who we selected. In August, I went out to their headquarters to visit with them again, and then some of their employees were here last night presenting in the work session.
So then talk to us about what do next steps look like? Yeah,
so there's going to be the contract, the city to enter into a contract with Crossover is going to be via resolution on the 10th. City Council will have the opportunity to vote on it. We've already taken it to the Benefits Committee, which that is made up of the 4 different unions in the city, so Transit, PD, Fire, and Page, where they have their union leader representation come and speak on behalf of their union, so they're in favor of it.
Okay.
It's their money, so they're going to say how the money is spent. And so we'll find out on November 10th if we're going to be entering into this contract, and then we'll start getting the building ready, and hopefully get the clinic open second quarter of 2026.
Wow. Okay, so this could happen pretty quickly.
Yeah, we've been working on it for a while. So.
Okay, great. And I know this is important to our colleagues in HR who have worked on this really for quite some time, but why is it important to you?
It's a huge benefit for the employees' families. I think we can use this as a retention and recruiting tool when it comes to police officers, general service employees, being able to have a health clinic that's on site pretty much, that you can visit any, 9 to 5. You have sore throat, you need ear protection. That's one of the things that can be offered. Really any of those primary care services, you're going to be able to go and be seen. I think their waiting room time is 4 minutes. That's amazing. It's a quick turnaround. You'll be able to see blood work there. Ours will have a small pharmacy. Where you'll be able to pick up the most commonly used pharmaceuticals, whatever that is. So I think it's going to be a benefit for our employees, and our employees deserve that.
I think, as a city employee, we have great benefits right now. Yeah. And I know, like, for example, really recently, our HR department has been offering the B12 and the acupuncture, and they offer that pretty regularly. We also have great mental health care for folks when something happens in their life or they just need to access therapy. But this essentially just takes all of that to the next level and makes it a lot easier to access. And I guess to your point too, you know, healthcare is a concern for everyone, whether you're a city employee or a resident of Pueblo. I would say like just the greater population, that's something they worry about all the time. And so to have maybe 1,800 people or even half of that free up space within the community, it could be really exciting for Pueblo to then have more access to healthcare.
Yeah, it's a win-win for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Great. Okay. Well, we're excited to see those next steps and see what decisions might be made and how that can affect our employees.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Great.
I hope City Council approves it.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Selfishly for myself, right?
Yeah.
Anything else about the City Council meeting that you want to talk about last night?
It was pretty lively, right? We had the previous city manager and previous executive director of the Urban Renewal Authority. Mm-hmm. We learned that he has his own company now, so he came to teach City Council last night about tactical governance. Okay. So there was questions about the budget.
Sure.
There was questions about employees and talent and how to attract talent and what that looks like. Sure. So it seemed like it was really an opportunity to bring forward somebody who was the previous city manager to talk about why the city should have a city manager, which I thought was interesting because I'm pretty sure that's like a big no-no campaign violation when you have, you know, when you're using city time to bring somebody forward, essentially saying why one form of government is better than the other when it's a current ballot issue. Mm-hmm. So that was just interesting all in itself. So I think City Council is maybe going to be having more conversations with this tactical governance group about questions that they want answered, maybe about the budget. I'm not really sure. So we had that, so fun. And then the second
Interesting how you didn't take the opportunity to campaign yourself while we're on city time.
Yeah, and I think that would be inappropriate.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to the next.
The next was President Aliff wanted to present on the PEDCO contract.
Sure.
But there really wasn't a presentation. It was, I think his specific words were we'd like to share our feelings about the PEDCO contract. So we heard from, several city councilors about how they were upset that I issued a letter canceling PEDCO's contract, and then that we then put a press release out about PEDCO's contract being canceled. And I think, really what we want to say to that is these are taxpayer dollars. This is, that 0.5% that you pay on every dollar that you spend in the community that goes to economic development. And I think that City Council should want transparency, should want accountability. Clearly, they don't want that after last night because I volunteered and told them to waive their executive session privileges, and I would share why I did what I did. They didn't want to take me up on that one in a public meeting, but that's okay. But then there was just, lots of conversation about how could I cancel the contract? And really what it comes down to is the city council passed a resolution a month ago saying that they wanted I'm not sure if it's an RFI or an RFQ. That was confusing last night too. For more information, for other opportunities for somebody to come in and also talk about economic development, have multiple partners. Maybe PEDCO could still be a partner. You could have other partners, doing economic development, and putting that out to see who is going to respond to us. So President Aliff and Councilwoman Maestri are working on this RFQ, this proposal that's going to be going out, and hopefully they get responses. In doing so, after reviewing PEDCO's contract, our current economic development, that contract has not been adjusted since 2008. And if you know me, we've been going through contract after contract after contract since I became the mayor, making sure that there's an ROI, there's a benefit for our community, and what those city dollars are being spent on and what we're getting in return, right? So
Sure.
We've done it with the nonprofits. We've done it with all the city's non-departmentals. We're revamping all the contracts the city has. And so after reviewing this contract, I thought it was time, that we update it, take a look at it, make sure that the city is getting what they want and making sure the information's there for the taxpayers. So in their contract, there is a 90-day termination. 90 days from December 31st is October 1st. So the notice had to be given 90 days before the end of the year. In order for us to redo the contract, if that's the way that the city decides to go with Petco. So Petco has every opportunity to apply, as do any other.
It sounds like that is an opportunity. I think City Attorney Sykes even said that she'd be willing to draft a new contract for council to approve with Petco if that's the direction they wanted to go, or renew the contract. Then
the 90 days thing, I think it's what I think is interesting is, we're all up in arms about 90 days till the end of the year and to what this contract and who's going to do economic development and what are we going to do, right? But you could potentially be 27 days and not have a mayor. And I haven't really heard anybody talk about what that plan is. So I think that there's, a little bit two sides to every story, right? So when we talk about planning, we are not just on the economic development sides of it. As you know, we've started Advanced Pueblo, just right here in this room, right out of my office, right? And where we're having these collaborative meetings with our two partners and the county, Petco and Pura, talking about, what bridging those gaps on what needs to be done when it comes to economic development, the permitting process. Andrew Hayes has been working on that for a couple months now on making sure that we are closing those gaps and that development isn't, just going by the wayside. And so we have made these relationships with these businesses coming into town. These businesses are not just going to abruptly leave because the city has decided to rework the half-cent sales tax contract with Petco. We've made these relationships. We know who these people are. We've been working with them for months. So I can rest assured to the community, that the ball has not been dropped. We are very involved. That is what we work on every single day. And so we're going to continue moving that forward because it's super important.
Sure. I think another thing that is important for folks to understand is what exactly that contract entails, because some folks believe that the half-cent sales tax will now just go away because you've canceled the contract. No. So what happens to those dollars, or how does that all work?
So those dollars always remain in the city's account, right? The city's bank account. Petco or nobody else can come in and use those dollars without an approval for city council. So we use those dollars for a couple of different things. We use those dollars to pay Petco for their contract. Petco receives $350,000 a year, in which they're only supposed to be using the money for marketing and advertising. That's what's stated in their contract, right? We use that money for the Pope Block building. You're going to see a resolution come forward on the 14th agenda to transfer $750,000 to an account for the Pope Block building that helps with maintenance, the elevator systems, the badging systems, X, Y, and Z. So if it is a piece of property that is held by the city that was an incentive project that failed, like the Pope Block building, I think that was QualMed, that was previously in there, and also additional I-Corps is in there. There's some additional other businesses in that building, or anything that half-cent sales tax dollars have touched to incentivize. The city can then use half-cent sales tax dollars to perform the maintenance, keep the building in good standing, those types of things. So that money can only be approved by city council. So Petco can't dip into it. I can't dip into it. That's just not the way that it works. So the only money that Petco can use is the money that's allocated via the budget every year of the $350K.
Got it. And the other piece too, that a lot of folks have spoken about as well, even Petco themselves, is that they have other money based on their membership.
Yeah.
So your canceling of the contract hasn't dissolved the organization. It hasn't all of a sudden ripped people's jobs away or things like that. They have other sources of revenue for them to function. Mm-hmm. That's accurate?
That's fact.
Okay. And then the half-cent sales tax fund is here with the city. And how much is in that fund right now?
Shoot, I bet today it's close to $80 million. Okay. The city just got done. So another use of the funds is when I became the mayor last year through my budget process, I hired an accountant that's paid from the half-cent sales tax. David, he works at City Hall in the finance department, but he only works on half-cent sales tax accounts. So he works on all the contracts. He goes and does site visits on anybody who's receives incentives to make sure that these employees are actually working in the community of Pueblo. And he really, does their books. So what we've been doing recently is any of these outstanding accounts, projects, right, that were like passed by city council 5 or 6 years ago or even farther back, if they pass a dollar amount, like if you take one of the shell buildings, for example, right? So city council goes in and they say, we're going to give you $10 million to build the shell building, right? So $10 million, if approved, sits in this account. They build the shell building. Well, the shell building's only $8 million. So now that the project's done, the $2 million is still just chilling in this account, right? So I've now given direction to the finance department to go through every single one of these accounts within the half-cent sales tax that their contractual obligations have been met, close that out, and send the money back to the half-cent sales tax. So I bet we're about $80 million now, because that's something we've been working on over the last month, is just closing out these projects, returning the money so we have more dollars to incentivize.
Great. Okay.
Sorry, that was a lot.
No, that's really good. I think a lot of folks are confused by what ending this contract means or what the termination letter meant and how that affects.
Fund stays with the city. It's on the ballot in November to extend for another 5 years. It has to be voted on every 5 years. This is only year 4, so if it fails, we'll be able to bring it back to a vote next November to try to get it passed again. If it fails again, the charter states that money will then revert to the city of Pueblo and be only used for capital expenses.
Okay. So it would come back to the general fund, but it's specifically earmarked for capital expenses. Yep. Interesting. Okay. But right now, the half-cent sales tax, that ballot measure is through 2026. Yep. It's on the ballot in November, on November 4th, and that would extend it for another 5 years past
2031.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Thanks for taking a deep dive into that one. That was informative.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. I've seen those comments too. No more economic development. No, that's not true. That money is the city's. It stays with the cities. It's managed by the city. We have an accountant that's just specific to that fund. Sure. Right. $80 million. That's more than half of the city's budget every year. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of work, and we just want to make sure things are transparent and people are accountable.
Great. Okay. Okay, Mayor, we have a couple upcoming events. Tonight you have a town hall at CSU Pueblo.
Yes.
5:30, Oshiato Student Center in the ballroom. And that's actually open to the public. The general community can come. So you'll be given some city updates, answering some questions, similar to what you've done with your other town halls. Great. And then we also have our twice annual Team Up to Cleanup that's coming
next
soon.
Weekend.
Yeah. So October 18th, Saturday, October 18th, we'll have 3 locations: CSU Pueblo, Colorado State Fairgrounds, and then we'll have Recycle Works open for green waste.
Yes.
I saw we had some folks that are already signing up to volunteer, which is great. This last cleanup, the one we did in May, we had more volunteers than we'd ever had before, so that was really exciting. Awesome. So we're looking forward to that. And then We'll have haunted rides at City Park.
Yes.
Which is also next weekend. That's the trunk or treat is on Friday the 17th and haunted rides. And then haunted rides like all day from 2 to 8 on the 18th. So kids can come in their costumes and ride the kiddie rides one last time before we close them down.
Yep.
And then we're also going to have Halloween at City Hall.
And then on the 25th, I think 26th, is the Riverwalk.
I think it's the 25th.
Riverwalk trick-or-treating event. Mm-hmm. We'll have a booth out there, too. Lucy's going to be a parrot. I'm going to be a pirate.
Cute. That'll be fun.
Yep.
Does she like crackers?
No.
No? Okay. That's like a parrot thing, you know? We'll just give her dog cookies instead.
Yeah, she'll like that.
Okay.
And then, trick-or-treating at City Hall, so.
Yeah, we have a lot of exciting things coming up. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we are out of the office next Monday for the holiday, and so we'll have City Council actually on Tuesday, October 14th. And that will be that's when you'll present the budget.
That's when they just get it physically.
Just, I mean, like
present here.
Present as
in
hand, not actually present.
Yep.
Then you'll present on the 20th.
Yep.
But you'll give, I guess I should say, you'll give the budget to City Council to see for the first time, and then you'll present it on the 20th.
Correct.
Great. Okay. Lots of exciting things happening. Really busy time here at the city, so looking forward to a lot of it.
Yes.
Great. Well, you can find this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Buzzsprout, YouTube, and on Local Channel 17. Don't forget, you can email us, mayor@pueblo.us, for your questions or your topic suggestions. And we will see you next week.